Hey everyone, my name is James and welcome back to ChippyGaming. So today we're actually going to be talking about the state of the game for Terraria for January 2022. That's right, it's a brand new year, the very first state of the game. And this is actually pretty interesting because we didn't actually get one in December. So if there is any news, well, it's going to be rolled over into this month's post. So without further ado, let's actually get into it. So as always, this is going to be broken down into different sections, and we're going to begin with PC Terraria. So this month, Relogic are still celebrating the Steam Labor of Love Award. They wrote, "You like us. You really, really like us." At long last, the loyalty and strength of the Terraria community won out, delivering the 2021 Labor of Love Steam Award to Terraria. As in years past, we were up against some pretty tough competition, so this is no small feat. We cannot say what this all means to us other than a whole lot. I think a couple of team members might have even teared up a little bit. Suffice to say, we cannot thank you enough for your amazing support this year, in the past, and in what is going to be a bright future. You all are what this is about. Bravo. And then they actually follow that by mentioning that Terraria won the Tap Tap Award over in China. Now, I'm going to save talking about this because I do have an upcoming video talking all about the Chinese version of mobile Terraria in 2022. It's very interesting. It's taken me a little bit of time to finish up, but I can't wait to jump into that video. I learned so much researching that project. So they do have a section called What Else Is Going On? And they wrote, "Funny you should ask. Steam Deck optimizations are nearly complete. In fact, we are likely to push those live soon to be ready well in advance of Steam Deck's launch in late February. Unless you are playing on Steam Deck, you will not see much difference in this build outside of a handful of bug fixes, etc. Our team is beyond excited for this new platform, and we've had a ton of fun messing around to try and get things feeling and running just right in time for launch. As for what else is going on, a lot of experimentation continues around the future. After all, we need to be sure that our labors are worthy of your love moving forward, right?" So very cryptic Terraria, very cryptic indeed. I don't really know what the future holds, but it's great to see this level of enthusiasm. As for the Steam Deck, I do believe I am in the first batch, so mine should hopefully be arriving at the end of February, early March. So if we do have this, exclusive update in a way, I'll be sure to film it and let you all know what it's all about, even if it's nothing big, just so that we're all on the same page. So real quick, before we talk about console news, which is very exciting, let me tell you about the sponsor of today's video, ExpressVPN. So today's video is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Hopefully by now, you all know what a VPN is, but just in case you don't, right now, everything that you do online is kind of unprotected. All of those websites that you visit, whether you're in normal or incognito mode, well, all of that actually gets sent to your internet service provider. And what they can do is they can use all of your information and they can sell it to advertisers. So if you don't really want that to happen, use a VPN. A VPN is a virtual private network, and essentially it's kind of like the postal service in a way. If what you visit is the letter, the VPN is the envelope that goes around it so that as it gets passed about, nobody knows the contents of the letter. Now, I know some of you are going to be like, well, I don't really mind if my internet service provider knows all the websites I go on. I have nothing to hide, and that's great. But what about when you're at Starbucks or McDonald's juicing up on the free Wi-Fi? Do you really want companies like that to have access to all of your private information? What about the hacker 2 tables down, sipping on a Frappuccino? You really don't want to have him have access either. So use a VPN, it masks all of it, and it makes you extra secure. ExpressVPN uses the best in-class encryption. So when you're connected to ExpressVPN, every bit of information you have going in or out goes through an encryption tunnel and cannot be seen by anyone. Not the government, not hackers, not even ExpressVPN. Now, I love ExpressVPN because it's super fast. I turn on a VPN and my internet speeds aren't reduced. And even better, it's all about what it unlocks across all of the different regions. This is why you want ExpressVPN. One of my favorite movies, David Fincher's The Social Network, isn't on the UK Netflix, but with ExpressVPN, I can change the location to Canada, and just like that, I'm watching the movie. So I highly encourage you to head down to the description and click that link at the top, expressvpn.com/chippy, and by clicking on my link, you'll actually be supporting the channel, and you'll also get 3 months free of ExpressVPN. Thank you very much to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to it. So moving on to the Xbox and PlayStation, they wrote, "What's up next now that we have Switch Journey's End out the door, pending a few more fixes, of course? Why, it's the long-mentioned content parity update. For years, non-PC players have followed behind on content, but these days will soon come to a close in 2022, as the DR team will be bringing content parity for everyone to fruition. Obviously, each platform will have its own differences in features, touch for mobile and Switch, etc. But as for the core content of the game itself, everyone will be on the same page. The timeline is still a bit to be determined, but as soon as we have a better idea, we will share it. The plan is for this to come to all platforms at once, or as close as possible. That means we're aiming to bring 1.4.1, 1.4.2, and 1.4.3 to you all at once. Now, to be clear, this does not include things like Tmod Loader or Steam Workshop style support at this time. Those remain interesting ideas that the team will explore, but first things first, everybody's getting the same version of the core Terraria experience. We hope that you are just as excited as we are. What's that? You want a quick teaser? Well, alright then, to be clear, we have a lot of work ahead still, but without further ado, we give you Dear Clops on console and mobile, an early sneak peek. So in this sneak peek, we do actually get to see Dear Clops on both the Xbox and mobile edition of Terraria, and this is so impressive. We're talking about an update that only actually came out 2 months ago, and I just love the fact that instead of, trickling it out 1.4.1 to 1.4.2, we're going to get all of it in one big batch, and I think that is the clever move here, trying to aim for all versions at the same time as well. I feel like we're going to have a proper big celebration across the Terraria community. We've never seen anything like this happen before, and I'm really excited for that day. So one thing I want to mention, because it wasn't included in this month's post, but I know I'll get a couple of comments about it. What's happening with crossplay? Is that still something that's intended to happen? Well, when they announced that crossplay was an idea that they had a couple of months ago, they did say that to actually get to that point, they would need parity between all different versions. So even though they're not talking about it now, I imagine that once we have parity, it's something that they can actually start looking into properly. Now, they did say when they first mentioned it that they didn't actually know if it was possible, and I believe that, but if anybody's going to be able to pull it off, it's DR Studios. They just keep smashing it out the park. The Switch port that we had recently of Terraria 1.4 was fantastic. I've done a full video about that. I can't wait for the future of Terraria. Even though updates may have ended, with all the stuff going on in the community, this parity update that's coming, mods to look forward to, it just seems like it's another great year for a great game. And I just love that. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to our sponsor as well, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.